Mr. Naftali, you asked me if I remembered anything else towards the end of the interview that I'd like to share, and I did have one other memory, which comes from late, which is right after Nixon resigned, we knew that our jobs were ending, and shortly. So it might have been the day after the resignation, or maybe 2 days after. And I don't believe that I worked for another week after that. I think I was probably gone with most of the staff within a week or 10 days. I remember feeling depressed in the sense that this great endeavor was at an end, and I just kind of felt deflated by it all. And part of my deflation was that we'd done all this work, we'd put together all these materials, and they were never going to see the light of day. No one was ever going to look at them because we had presented them to the members of the committee, but not to the members of the Congress, and really not to the public. And I was talking to John about leaving, and I shared that with him. And he looked at me, and he had this look of disgust on his face, like, how could you think this? And he said to me, don't worry about that. You know, it's all here. The record is here. Whoever wants to read the record can read it. And what we did will survive in the record. And I will add that that's in keeping with what he always thought, which is, you know, you don't really need to listen to the tapes. You got the transcripts, you know, and it's the record that's important, not any individual, not the person who transcribed the tapes, you know, not the brilliant special lawyer that put together the evidence about this or that. It was all about the record, and that made me feel better.
Did he walk? I think you recall, you told me that he just walked out of the room.
Oh yeah, it was a dramatic moment because he said, "Don't worry about it," and he got up and he walked out of the room and left me alone to ponder these words of wisdom, which made me feel a little bit better. And then to underscore all of this, you know, he gave us all, he gave me, and I believe everyone else, a complete set of the materials, the tan booklets from, you know, volume 1 all the way through, and everything that went with them, which of course we all still have in our libraries and on our shelves. And he gave us a photograph that we all took on the steps of the Capitol with the inscription to seek, to strive, to find, and not to yield, which was good advice.
That's how we inscribed the photograph to all of you?
Yes.
One last point. He said to you that it wasn't necessary to hear the tapes, it was enough to read the transcript?
Yes. And that's, you know, it's a profound statement because of course it wasn't true on one level, which is you really had to listen to the tapes to kind of get the sense for what was happening. But in terms of John's being the lawyer's lawyer, you know, the uber lawyer, what really matters are the statements. And sometimes the emotion or the actual voice, you know, might get in the way of what was actually being said.
When did he say this to you? I mean, at what point? Was it in the beginning?
Yes. Well, towards the middle would be my best guess.
Do you think he was saying this in order to make you understand how important the transcripts were?
Yes. I don't know that he truly believed it, but I think I took it to mean the transcripts are what's important, and get them right, because that's what's important. And thinking back on it, he probably realized that for every person that listened to the tapes, there were going to be thousands that would read the transcripts, right? I mean, not everybody was going to have an opportunity to listen to the tapes, and that was certainly true.
Do you think you annoyed Mr. Dorr a little bit when you made that statement those few days after the president resigned?
Yes, I do, and it wasn't the first time. he taught me so much. And one of the things he taught me by that response was, what are you worrying about that? You did your job, we did our job. Whatever happens next is, out of our hands. And I was, I was a kid, and it's not that I was looking forward to the impeachment vote in the House or the trial in the Senate, but we'd done all this work, and it was being boxed up, and put in boxes. And I thought, who's going to read about, the milk fund, or who's going to remember the work that we did on the bombing in Cambodia, or these other sort of tangential things that we spent so much time working on, and Watergate. But of course, people are still interested in Watergate.
Thank you, Jeff.